Heidi ho, my friends. I know you're wondering, what the heck am I doing? Well, today is the beginning of Defemerembra. And as I told you, I'm going to be a day late and a dollar short. So I thought we would get started on today's prompts. So today's prompt is, and you know I don't have it out to show you, is well, it's here somewhere. It's here somewhere, you guys. Is an altered, well, let's see, where is it? It's an altered playing card in an antique key. Well, I don't have an antique key. And I thought, here it is right here. I don't have an antique key. Altered playing cards and antique keys. Well, I don't have an antique key. These are what my keys look like. They are not antique. So I want to make them look antique. So I thought I would take you with me on this little crazy idea of a journey I had. And what I have, now I have done this before on, and I'm sure most of you have too, on tin cans and other things where you make things look, rusty and old using acrylic paint. So I got out from my old painting days, and I still paint occasionally, not very often, but occasionally. I get out some black, some Canyon orange, which is a dark orange. I got out some burnt sienna, some parchment, which is an creamy off-white. I also got out some cinnamon, which is kind of a reddish brown. And then I got out some burnt umber. And this is just your Liquitex basics. None of them are expensive. And then just out of a sponge, I just cut off the corner. You could also use those little makeup sponges if you wanted. And I have on gloves. And then on my cereal bag, I just put in my little blue cutting board that we use inside to keep my cereal board my bag from bouncing around. So we're going to play, and we're going to see if we can get anything looking like what I want it to look like. So we're just going to put a little bit of paint here in here. Now, black, I'm not going to need much at all. I'm not going to need much black at all. That's probably enough black to do 500 keys. But it just kind of blooped on me. The brown and the orange, those are your keys. Your browns and your orange. Well, and it has been really cold in here. Okay, this one's really cold. All right, we're going to let that one stand upside down for a minute. These feel really cold. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them out. I mean, like, there, that one's coming. I know they didn't freeze. They should not be frozen or anything. My room's not that cold, for goodness sakes. The rest of them are flowing. You can tell it's been a long time since I've used that one. Now, I just have a little bit of these darker colors to use on the base. And I have a towel in my lap to wipe my hands on. All right, let's see if we can get anything out of this. Oh, there it goes. There goes the cinnamon. Okay. So those are the colors that I'm going to use. Now, I'm going to start. Let's start with this one. Let's see what we can work up on this one here. Now these are cold. So I guess it was colder than I thought it was. So I'm going to start here, maybe with this off-white. And the trick to this is you don't clean your sponge in between your colors. Okay, that's the trick. You don't clean your sponge. Okay, once you add a color, you don't need a lot because this is a very small space. You You just keep dabbing. Oh gosh, this is way too much paint on here. I need to wipe some of this off. Way too much paint on here. Let's dab some of this off. This is a lot more than I thought it was. All right, now let's try. Yeah, this sponge is soaking it up. I got an idea. Let's maybe create it here. Let's see if we can. Yeah, this is, I don't know how well this sponge is going to do. That's giving me a better base anyhow. I don't know about this. This isn't doing what I want it to do. Let's maybe add a little bit of this. And this could be a great big fat bloop. Bloop-a-doop right into the trash. Yeah, it's got to dry, and then we still have to do the other side. All right, so let's see. It just looks black and dirty right now, so I'm just going to let that one sit and let it dry. And then I'm going to add some more orange, I think. I think I might do that right here. Bring it down here. Come on. I don't want any more black. Do I have black on here? Yes. I'm going to switch corners and just pick up some of this orange. I don't know what that looks like on camera. I don't know. Can you see it? In person, it looks like a rusty old key. It really does. But I need to let it dry so I can do the back. All right, let's try. It really does. I'm shocked myself. Let's try this one. Let's get this one started. Okay. Now this one's a lot thinner. These are just fake plastic. They're like charms. See the little thing on the top? They're just charms, and you can see how long they are. All right, so I'm just taking from this little base that I started here. And I'm just pouncing with my sponge. And then I'm adding a little dab of this white as my base, onto my base. So it seems like the key here. Did you catch that? Did you catch that? Did you catch the key? Is to start with a little base on your work surface here, like this. You know, and then take it over in your brown shades like this, and then take the browns over, because they seem to mix better that way. And then once you get those mixed, let them just sit for a minute, because they do seem to dry pretty quick. Then go to another edge and add your oranges. Just tap them in and blend them. And once I tap it on, I'm just blending it into the brown. And you can practice, practice on a piece of paper. Practice. I practice mine on like an old, we had, I don't know, several years ago, I just had an old can and I practiced on it one day until, I got it to where I wanted. And that was how I learned. So you can practice on that until you figure out the colors that you like and how you like it. See, and I'm thinking that this needs just that little tiny bit of black, and not a lot of it. But it needs just that little bit of black to make it darker. But you'll get your color scheme and how you like your colors. Be still. And I like that one better than this one. This one just does not seem to want to hold the paint very well. This one does not, see, you can see how it's coming off easier. This one does not seem to want to hold it very well. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to let this one dry before I can do anything else to it. Now this one has a similar shape to that one. So I'm wondering if it's going to work as well. As the other one did. Because that other one worked really well. Oh, yeah, see, these work really well, this shape. I think they must be flatter. The top of them must be flatter. And that's the amount of black that I'm using. Can you see the tip of the sponge? That's the amount of black that I put on and then just dab it. Of course, these keys are small. They're... So you don't want a whole lot on it. And you know how black paint is. It tends to spread whether you want it to or not. And that's the amount of orange that I'm putting on it. Can you see it? And then I'm just going right over top of it. I'm just giving it a light tap and I'm just kind of blending it in. Giving me my old keys. Now, if you haven't seen Barbara's or Louise Heinzel's, I urge you to do so. Plus, there'll be many others with the hashtag DefemerEmber24 for you to watch and get some ideas. Oh, now that one didn't turn out too bad. I like that one a little bit better. I think this one needs some brown. It's still a little bit too, it's got too much of the shine showing through, I think. This one needs some more of the brown. Oh, that's better. Yeah, you can always do layers if you're not comfortable with doing it all at once. Do it in layers. Let it dry a little bit. You're using such a small amount of paint that, this dries rather quickly. But remember, if you're using keys similar to mine, they're not, They're not porous, so it is going to take a little bit to dry. Now, you can use your heat tool, but just be careful. Don't get it real close to it. You don't want to melt anything. Now, that's not bad. Let's put just a tad bit of orange here. The orange and the cinnamon are what give it the rusty colors. If you look at rust, real rust, it's got that orange. Now that one's not bad. That's looking better. It's got kind of an orangey, burnt orangey look to it. And that's what you're looking for. Okay. Now, I'm going to let that one dry. Let me get it out of my hand. Now, this one that I think is dry, I'm going to pick it up here and see. See, you can see the difference. There's the back. There's the front. Here's the difference in the keys. Okay, that's the difference. So, I don't know how to tell if it's dry or not. Let's see. Just a smidgen. But I want to go on and move on here to the sides. So we're just going to be gentle. We're going to bring this around here to the sides. I hope you all had a good day today. And you all got to watch some other Ephemerembra videos. Yeah, this week most likely mine will be, or at least for the beginning of the week, mine will be a day behind. I've got some other things I need to do here at the beginning of the week. But then I'll catch up. There you go. Now, that's looking better. That's looking better. Now, because this has to dry all the way before we put it in our journal, of course, we're not going to get this one done tonight. But I wanted to show you how to do this. So if you, woo, look at all that black paint. Oh, my gracious. So if you needed to do something like this and you were sitting at home thinking, oh, man, I don't know. I don't have a printer to download anything, and all I have are these keys. Here's a way you can alter your keys. That's better. That looks better. Ooh, I went a little crazy on that black, didn't I? I always had that trouble when I painted landscapes too. I'd forget and pick up too much black paint. And before I knew it, I was painting the nighttime. There we go. Let's make sure we have all of our sides covered. There. Yeah, once it dries, it dries pretty well on this. Okay, so I'm going to lay this down and let it dry on that side. Now let's go back to this and see if we can put another little... Now that that's dry, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but now that it's dry, it does look better. But the side does need some loving. It still looks way too new. And of course the back. So let's get these finished. And then tomorrow, when I post tomorrow, we'll get this whole prompt finished. And then we'll get started on the next one. So don't be surprised if you see 2 videos tomorrow. If I have an opportunity to do them, I'll do 2 videos tomorrow. I'll finish up this one. And I'll also do tomorrow's prompt for you. Okay. Otherwise, you're going to be watching me do things like this in my jammies for a couple of days. There we go. Now it's behaving. Well, I say that and then it misbehaves. Little devil. It's just one spot down here that... Now, you could even try this with alcohol paints if you wanted. I don't know if it would work because this is not real metal. But you could try it, you know, and see if it works. I have alcohol paint. Now, I was going to try it, but I didn't have the right color that I wanted to use. But yeah, give it a try. If you've got alcohol paint and you've got metal keys, that's a great way to color them. Get those alcohol paints out and play with them. Hey, you've got that stuff in your craft room and it's just sitting there not doing anything. Use it. Use it up and do something with it. Okay, so here are the keys that we have. I left one undone so we could see the before. That's the before. And these are the ones that we've painted here. Those are the ones that we've painted. And this is the paint. It's just regular craft paint. We've used parchment, antique parchment. We used raw sienna. And this is just craft paint. This is called licorice. I've used canyon orange, cinnamon, and burnt umber. And of those little tiny squirts, that's how much is left. Those little tiny squirts. So, like I said, that's enough to do probably 50 keys. So, if you're just going to do a few keys, you have plenty from just one little tiny squirt to do it. But I do highly recommend you put gloves on because that paint will get all over your hands, as you can tell. And I don't like it getting... I don't like that paint getting up and under my rings, so that's why I put my gloves on. So I'm going to let these dry overnight, and then I will see you guys in the morning after this is dried, and we will go from there. Now, you can reuse your sponge. You can let this dry completely, and then just cut these tips off, and you can reuse the rest of your sponge. And also, you can reuse this sponge. And you can buy sponges like these in the Dollar Tree. I think they're 2 sponges for $1.25. Or you can also buy them in places like Dollar General, Walmart, places like that. They're very inexpensive. You want to buy them in the area where the kitchen sponges are. And I always keep one in my craft room for things like this. And then when I'm done, I just cut the edges off of them. Now, like I said, you can also use the makeup sponges if you don't have that. Those little cosmetic triangular sponges, they work just as well. So you can use those. So until I see you again in our next video when we're putting all this together with our altered playing card, don't forget you can like, you can comment, and you can subscribe, and you can share. And I'll see you again. Until then, ta-ta for now.